We're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. And our bringing you tonight's bulletin is Martina Abera. Now, Rwanda's gross domestic product grew by 11.8% in the third quarter of this year, reaching 5.525 trillion Rwandan francs, up from 4.659 trillion recorded during the same quarter last year. The National Institute of Statistics indicates that this growth was driven by the services sector, which contributed 57%, agriculture with a contribution of 15%, industry at 22%, and tax revenues accounting for 6%. Various sectors also recorded differing levels of growth, with agriculture growing by 10%, industry by 17%, and services by 10%. Rwanda has continued to rank at the top in Africa among countries that facilitate free movement across the continent by removing visa requirements for African nationals or simplifying the procedures for obtaining visas. This is reflected in the 2025 Africa Visa Openness Index, in which Rwanda has maintained this prestigious position since 2023, thanks to its policy of granting visas to citizens of African countries traveling to Rwanda, as noted by Mark Bangunda, a Ugandan national, and Al Gohal Mohammed, an Egyptian investor.
As a country is very beautiful, so I think a week before we did some traveling across the country and went to a couple of beautiful places. We hit Volcanoes National Park, and it's an amazing, amazing place. We're going to go to Akaja very soon as well. I'm sure it's going to be a very beautiful place. So yeah, it's a really good destination, I'd say. It really is. So we checked a couple of lodges as well. They're really amazing, amazing, beautiful places within Rwanda. Yeah, it's quite the destination, I'd say. It's a really beautiful destination.
I see in Rwanda many something is Mr. Kagame he making is very good for business. You know, when I go to Congo or I go to Dakar in Senegal or I go South Africa, first something I looking about the safety. Rwanda is #1 is safety. It's like Egypt for me. I can go outside like 3 o'clock in the night, 4 o'clock, it's safety. And when I have some problem with anyone, I can take it what I needed, you understand? Is have, is good system. This is very good for business. Any businessman, when he looking about what? About the system in the country, about the safety, about the road, about everything is make easy here. The business here is very good. This is country, inshallah, I see this in my eyes. This is after 5 years, this is another way. And I hope this.
Analysts of Africa's economy and development point out that if all African countries adopted policies similar to Rwanda's, it would promote trade, investment, and cooperation among nations across the continent. Dr. Francois Kanimba is a Rwandan economic expert.
The key pillar to promote integration is to facilitate free movement of people. Why? It's very simple to understand, because when you want to promote intra-regional trade, the free movement of goods always follow the free movement of people. If you are a trader or someone who is in the manufacturing sector, if you are targeting to export part of your produce in neighboring country, the first thing you do is to do a market intelligence to understand exactly how you can go and compete on a given market. You can't do that if you have barriers to enter this country, you physically. And then such practice is necessarily going to delay the regional integration process, and which automatically delay the whole process of benefiting from the regional integration process. Yes, facilitating free movement of people is a key, is part of the economic integration. And basically, when you want to promote, let's say now, from a nation point of view, if you want to promote growth, you absolutely need to facilitate investment. How are you going to facilitate investment, facilitating, attracting investors from outside to come and invest in your country, at the same time maintaining barriers at entry in your country?
Veteran analyst in African politics and governance, Beninese national Damien Muzun, says that the excuses often invoked by countries such as insecurity linked to this policy should be set aside if Africa is to achieve economic transformation and improvements in the living standards of its people.
Who had the pretext at that time, and they are still using the same pretext today, that for security reason they don't want to open up and so forth, as if the terrorists cross the borders or use the airport to come to the countries. Rwanda has opened up since then to all African. No visa required, you just come with your passport, and then a few questions, your thing is stamped, you enter the country, no payment. Has it made Rwanda and the Gambia, which are the first country today on the list of this index, less secure than a country like Sudan, for instance, which is the last on the list because they don't allow people to easily travel to their country. They have all the restrictions. But is Sudan secure today for that as a response to that limitation? I don't think so. So we still have a lot to deal with this situation, to look at the problem from within. And those who have the influence and the power, if there is anything they can do beyond even the border opening. If I have to fly from one African country to another today, I have to pay 3 times the amount I will pay to go to Dubai or to go to other part of the continent. Outside the continent. The European who colonized us, they are able to have those European Union today where you can travel to one country and go across all the countries. When I come to Rwanda, even without visa, or if I were to even require visa to go to Tanzania, I might need another visa. To go to Kenya, I might need another visa. And these are issues we are dealing with. And if you look at even within Africa, in the index, they spoke about the West African community, which is now being fragile with the situation of alliance of countries of Sahel and so forth. But West Africa have been a strong group that allows these 16 countries to travel freely without visa. And we've had the East African community, which is the second, and the third, which is like the most difficult part of the continent today to travel for the freedom of movement, is the north, like those Maghreb countries and so forth. So I think there is much more we have to do in terms of mindset change to make sure that in terms of cost of travel, ease of facilitation of the transportation within, if we can have those railway or even infrastructure to make sure the countries are easily connected and people can even travel by road if they can, and allow people to be able to have that element of ownership when they are in their own continent. But if we are separated the way it is now, and every country try to do their own laws and their own kind of limitation, it's not going to help the continent to rise.
Indeed, Rwanda's open borders policy was a strategic decision at the country's highest levels of leadership, as emphasized by President Paul Kagame.
We also removed visa restrictions for citizens of every African country, as well as many other countries. Let there be no mistake about it. Any African can get on a plane to Rwanda whenever they wish, and will not pay a thing to enter our country. We should not lose sight of our own continental market.
The East African Development Bank is set to invest $150 million in Rwanda in development projects in the coming year 2026. This follows its 2024 disbursement of an additional $36 million, which supported the growth of more than 500 small and medium-sized enterprises operating in various sectors of Rwanda's economy. The acting Director General of the EADB, Bernard Paul Mono, says their objective is to continue supporting member states, including Rwanda, in implementing sustainable and inclusive development initiatives.
Finalizing the signing of a project that is to do with the gas in the country with other partner financial institutions, and when that is done, we'll disburse. We are at the final stages of some projects in the health sector where we are financing a hospital. Some other hospitals are also applying where we believe will also, the one hospital is already approved. We're just in the process of fulfilling the conditions and disbursing. The other one is still at the appraisal stage. We have a number of applications in hotel industry that we are analyzing, and we'll be able to disperse. Those are those that have come directly.
Director for Banking and Non-Banking in the Financial Sector Development Directorate of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Habat Asimne, says that while the EADB supports Rwanda through development projects, there is a desire for the bank to strengthen its support for large-scale projects as these generate long-term benefits. Under its program running up to 2028, the bank says it will continue financing projects aimed at promoting industrial development and building modern, time-appropriate infrastructure. Since 2024, more than 500 small and medium-sized enterprises across different sectors of Rwanda's economy have received loans financed through the EADB's support. Moving ahead, the Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Jimmy Gasore, has urged members of their Engineers Association to be committed to their work and to embrace the use of modern technology, noting that it speeds up and simplifies work while delivering internationally competitive results. The lack of their own offices, despite being builders, was described as an embarrassment, compounded by the fact that they are often excluded from large contracts, which tend to be dominated by foreign firms that leave behind projects Rwandans are unable to maintain. These are among the challenges engineers raised with the Minister of Infrastructure during their annual general meeting. They also asked him to advocate on their behalf. The president of the Engineers Association in Rwanda, who also currently leads the Association of Engineers within the East African Community, Engineer Gentil Kangaho, called on the Ministry of Infrastructure to help improve the law so that everyone working in this profession becomes a member of their association, with the aim of reducing the number of unqualified practitioners who tarnish the profession's reputation. The Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Jimmy Gasore, reminded members of the association that they must continuously learn and focus on technology, including artificial intelligence, stressing that the world is constantly changing and that those who fail to keep pace will be left behind.
Therefore, position themselves at the forefront of Rwanda's digital transformation agenda, integrating technology across the entire project cycle. However, technical excellence and digital capability alone are not sufficient. Rwanda's development also depends on engineers who can convert ideas into enterprises. By bridging engineering with entrepreneurship, professionals can drive industrialization, create jobs, and strengthen local value chains. The transition from blueprints to business is therefore strategic imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, as we strengthen professional practice of today's priorities, we must also prepare for an uncertain and rapidly evolving future. Climate change, technological disruptions, and shifting global standards will continue to reshape the engineering profession. Continuous learning, adaptability, and leadership will be essential qualities for engineers operating beyond Vision 2050.
In response to the issue raised, Minister Jimmy Gasore assured them that he would advocate for them with all relevant institutions.
was to consider enhancing local content in large and complex engineering projects. As we all have noticed, the government is implementing more and more complex projects that requires expertise that we didn't have in Rwanda. So it is very important that we and you work together to find ways to include engineers in those projects. We already require the local content working with, usually with contractors, but local contractors also use local engineers. But we are happy to work with you further to see how we can reduce, even remove the barriers that prevent local engineers to participate in this project. The other thing is to enforce the law. I first want to commend the joint work we did in the last year, from the drafting of the law all the way to the publication of the new law regulating professionals. So now it's a time to implement the law. Again, we are going to do the needful as the ministry to make sure that the law, especially the requirement for compliant engineers, is respected, starting from government agencies, government institutions. The last one, the request for land, is a bit, we cannot pronounce ourselves on that, but we are going to look into this with the Ministry of Environment and see what is possible.
Currently, the Engineers Association has more than 4,000 members working in sectors such as construction, architectural design, information technology, electricity, and water, all of whom play a key role in building and maintaining infrastructure. The Ministry of Youth and Arts Development, in collaboration with the Embassy of China in Rwanda, has donated sewing machines to 200 young people in the city of Kigali who have completed tailoring training. The permanent secretary in the ministry, Ngabo Brave, said that this support will help empower the youth.
Remarkable gesture embodies the spirit of friendship, solidarity, and shared commitment of youth empowerment and sustainable development. On behalf of Ministry of Youth and Arts, I extend our sincere thanks to His Excellency the Ambassador and the Government of China for their unwavering support to our youth, particularly those who have recently graduated from our tailoring vocation courses. The nation will significantly enhance their skills, improve their productivity, and open new avenues of economic independence and entrepreneurship. Our youth are the future of our nation, and investing in their skills is investing in Rwanda's prosperity. The sewing machines will provide to our young tailors with essential tools to transform their talents into valuable livelihoods, contributing not only to their personal growth, but also to the broader socio-economic development of our country. There's continued partnership and commitment to our shared goals of youth empowerment, job creation, and poverty reduction. Such collaborations reinforce the importance of international solidarity and positive impact that can be achieved when nations work together for common development objectives.
The Chinese ambassador to Rwanda, Gao Wenqi, urged Rwandan youth to make good use of the opportunities provided by their country.
During this vibrant center, I am soon inspired by the energy and enthusiasm of Rwanda's young people. The nation's greatest asset. It is also a true delight to witness another concrete achievement of Rwanda-China friendship in the field of youth development. Youth carry the future of a nation. Both China and Rwanda prioritize empowering the next generation. As President Kagame has noted, youth are the strength and the future of our nation. Contribution illustrates how China-Rwanda cooperation extends beyond infrastructure to include capacity building and people-to-people ties. with a focus on sustainable development. This also reflects our deepening comprehensive strategic partnership. We hope these sewing machines will help you turn skills into opportunities. Every garment you make, every business you start, will not only realize your own potential, but also contribute to Rwanda's prosperity, enrich China-Rwanda friendship, and promote the community with a shared future.
Moving ahead, going back to the theme of Rwanda's open borders policy, but focusing on the youth specifically, our colleague Enora Gladys Benimana recently spoke to the well-known South Sudanese TikTok content creator Tony John Alfor, who currently lives in Rwanda. He shared his experience of life in Rwanda, his journey into content creation, and how the content he produces has not only connected him with audiences, but also created opportunities and benefits for him along the way.
We see some sort of advantages in being a content creator here in Rwanda.
Yeah, because here in Rwanda, like, for you to be a content creator, there's a lot of, like, it can create for you a lot of opportunity here, because now you can see people, like, even though like you are jobless or even you are illiterate, you didn't go to school, but you're a big content creator, you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of views, like crazy one. Many companies can approach you and you do for them promotion, advertisement like this, you get the little one they give you. So that's how we benefit from this content here.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes these things here, like what you're doing online should not define you outside. So,
yeah, and how has living in Rwanda shaped your identity as a young creator?
Yeah, living in Rwanda here, it's very nice. The question is...
You just can't give us some details, because you've been living in Rwanda, it's been a whole year, right?
Yeah, it's been a whole year. Let me say Rwanda is good, you know? Like, for me, according to me, let me say, like, living here, like, just create for me this opportunity of doing all these things now, gaining popularity, being known by many people, and getting some opportunities here. So it's very nice.
Yes. How do you balance your studies and your content creation? Because you've been here in the first place just for your studies.
My studies. So like the way I balance my things here, because I have schools days like from Monday up to Friday. From Monday up to Friday, and it is from 8:30 up to 2:30. So this is the time I depart from school. So after that, I come back home. If I have some ideas to do, or if I feel like to do videos, I just carry my phone like this, a selfie. Then I just do my content like this, I pause. Then in weekend, maybe I do some collaborations with those content creators here in Rwanda. That's it.
Great. What lessons have you learned on your journey that you wish you knew earlier?
What lessons? So, what I've learned that I could have started this thing early, like this content
the thing
early.
of content creation.
Yeah, early. If I know that I'm going to blow like this, I could have started early here in Rwanda, because now I'm remaining only with 1 year here in Rwanda. So I don't know, maybe my family will need me back home. Exactly. So I don't know. So I wish that I could have started early. So.
Yes, as you're saying, you just have maybe plans to be going back to your home country, in Sudan, next year. But where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in this content creation career?
In the next 5 years, let me say, I will see myself like as the best content creator in Africa.
Wow.
Let me say, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Do you already know many languages?
For me, I speak Arabic. English, Kenya, Rwanda,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah,
but you can even interact with some Kenya Rwanda.
Yeah, I can interact, negotiate, like talking with those people of Moto. I was talking Kenya Rwanda. Like the basic Kenya Rwanda words only, the one I use.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. And to your correction, so because like many people, they cannot differentiate between Sudan and South Sudan, and which you are doing now, you are saying that I'm from Sudan. Sudan is divided into two. There's not Sudan and South Sudan. I'm from South Sudan. Sudan, therefore, not Sudan.
What's this one thing, maybe three, you can just tell us three things that you've loved the most about Rwanda, about you being here, those things that maybe if you even go back to your home country, you're going to be missing that?
One thing I love about this country, one, the security. Let me say security here in Rwanda is very good. Let me say Rwanda hari amahoro. Security here is good, and my favorite person here, I like the president, like the work, the services he's doing to his people. So I love that so much. And then second to it, I love the weather here and the beautiful people.
Yes. When you talk about the beautiful people, what do you want to specify? You can just specify.
Like,
why beautiful people?
Beautiful people, like, because they're so welcoming.
And on that note, we've come to the end of tonight's English Bulletin. On behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, thank you for sticking with us here on RTV News. Until next time, stay safe and have a good night.